Hi, I'm Abby, and I want to make a video about. This is going to be a very complex discussion. It's going to be challenging because what I'm going to talk about is me bending the rules of what is a human mind, and a human mind chooses to only relate to what it believes, and those beliefs are always based on what it can see, what it can feel, what it can touch and taste. The belief system of the human mind, or the belief system of a human being, does not go beyond what is most comforting, what is most tangible, what it is able to relate to in the most obvious sense of that. So, this discussion is going to be about what is time and what is distance. And it's complex because what we feel, for instance, is time exists. We feel like time exists. And what we feel is distance. We feel it exists. And when I tell you these things in your mind, you're like, well, yeah, there's a sun and there's a moon. And the sun comes up, and then the sun goes down, and then the moon comes up, and that regulates what time is. And that is very humanistic. That is very what I can see, what I can sense. That is a very humanistic experience of time because it doesn't go beyond the senses. And you have to remember, we live in an infinite universe. And in an infinite universe, there is a spiritual world and physical world that are combined as one. And in both realms that are both one, there is no time at all. And that seems to break the standard of the rules, because how could time not exist? How could I be born and then I die one day and there was no time that existed? That doesn't make any sense. How could events have happened 1,000 years ago and you're sitting here telling me that time does not exist? How could I do understand that. I do myself. I have followed along all of the normal standards of thinking. And so I'm going to tell you that part of our experience of what time is related to our vibrational setting. So when I talk about vibrational setting, I'm talking about so I'm going to define to you what that means exactly. So all of creation, all of physical and spiritual creation is actually defined as actually a creation of wavy lines, of vibrational settings that are manifestations. So our physical body is made up of vibrations, like a harp, and when we aren't feeling good, that is when the vibrations are out of tune. When we don't feel good, we have to get back in tune again with a balance, which is harmony. Harmony, and harmony is actually defined as sounds that sound very good together, and balance is harmony. Balance is sounds that sound very good together. And so when you are in balance, you are in harmony. You are at a vibrational setting that is balanced with each other. And so this gets very complicated because I wasn't prepared to start talking about vibrational settings, but for you to identify an infinite universe, you have to identify with what creation is, and creation is settings of vibrations. And right now, as human beings, we not only have a vibrational setting within our body, and our soul has its own vibrational setting, and our planet and the universe and all of creation has a series of vibrational settings, and we are all a part of the music of creation in different ways. And there is no time within the vibrations. There only is existence. There is no beginning within the vibrations. There is no end within the vibrations. There is only existence within the vibrations. People truly want to know what came from nothingness. People truly want to know what is the end of time. Like, will time ever end? Like, people truly want to understand these things. To understand them, you have to relate to timelessness. You have to relate to an infinite existence. You have to relate to the fact that as a soul, you had no beginning and no end. You only were a vibration of existence, and a vibration that is constantly developing itself and becoming more depth, more vibration, more attuned, more extraordinary through the exploration of the physical realm, through the exploration of different vibrational settings, which is part of a physical realm. So in our physical existence, so I've talked a little bit about vibrations and talked a little bit about the balance and the oneness of the physical and spiritual universe. So right now, as human beings, we are at a lower vibrational setting, and within a lower vibrational setting, we are connected with the darker energies, and darker energies are equivalent to literally sitting in darkness. Like if you're sitting in a dark room and there's no light, what can you see? What can you know about what is in that room? Can you see what's in that room? You can't. You are in darkness. And that is the equivalent of where we are as human beings. We don't have the awareness. We don't have the infinite connection. We don't experience that in our vibrational setting. Our vibrational setting keeps us inside a world where we are in an illusionary world that is manipulated by dark vibrational entities, and the fabric of darkness and the fabric of the vibrational setting is to keep us challenged to know what is an infinite world. So this is quite a conversation. It's quite a topic, and it's so much that it's hard to make sure that I am helping you to understand. And so, okay, so now we're going to continue to try to comprehend timelessness. So in a lower vibrational setting, in a vibrational setting where you are more connected with darkness, you will be challenged to understand an infinite world, and you will be able to comprehend what feels like time, and time is the manipulation. So when you die, for instance, what happens? You are no longer connected to a physical body, and you're a complete, extraordinary spiritual expression. You always were both spirit and both physical. No matter where you are always both spirit and both physical. It's hard to believe, but it is entirely true. And I have made very simple diagrams, which I have another video where I shared these diagrams, and I feel like I have to share them again. And they're kind of cheesy because they're so simple. But for instance, we have, this is also to talk about what distance is. This is also to talk about what happens when you die, because in the video that I just made, I tried to define very briefly what happens when you die, and I think I did a poor job of it by telling you to just not think too hard, because it's easy as a human being to try to make sense of things and to do it using only your eyes, only your taste, only the senses that we relate to, not the extraordinary senses, not the spiritual infinite senses. So here, I'm going to define what we have here. Again, my silly little diagram. What we have is an infinite time loop. And everybody knows what this is. Everybody knows an infinite time loop. This is a beautiful thing. This is not an evil thing. There is a depiction of a snake chasing its tail, and for some reason, people define that as evil. There's nothing evil about this. This is an infinite time loop. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful thing. This is extraordinary. This is light, and then this is dark. And we're all of these things. We're all dark and all light. And we are all part of each other, and we are all part of the physical and spiritual realm. We are all everything. We are all of these things. And in our physical bodies, we are still connected with spirit over here. It's very hard to hold this and point at the same time. So we're also spirit, we are also physical. And in the physical bodies, we are as humans, which as aliens, we are different in different areas of the infinite time loop. And right now we're here in the darkness. And part of that is a vibrational setting, is the darkness, and it covers up our ability to experience timelessness and wisdom and unconditional love. And when we go beyond the third dimension, which is what people call our awareness right now, is a third dimension. It's a vibrational setting that's very low, it's very much in the dark. And when we bridge that, when we go beyond that, we can go straight into the light, which is all joy, all unconditional love, all awareness, all an infinite connection. And in an infinite connection, we do not feel time here. We do not feel the experience of time here. This is not evil. This is not evil at all. This is literally beautiful. This is literally an expression of what is existence itself, what is creation itself, what is time in an infinite universe. We have to go beyond being human. We have to go beyond choosing to remain in a low setting of understanding. We have to love the dark, and then we have to choose the light. You have to always love everything. And if you hate the dark, you are still dark. Dark is hatred. So by hating dark, you are still dark. By fearing dark, you are still dark. By not fearing dark, you are now light. By loving dark, you are now light. And so now I'm talking about distance. How am I going anywhere right now? By choosing light, I do not have to go anywhere to choose light. I do not have to go anywhere to fear dark. I only make a choice of what I want to experience. And that is actually that is a distance. It takes a distance to make a choice. I actually had to make a choice to choose to go to dark or choose to go to light, but it is actually no distance at all. It is literally, it is all a part of the oneness. It is all a part of our expression as oneness of light and of dark. And you don't have to go anywhere to make a choice to be light or to be dark. And the spirit realm doesn't have to go anywhere to connect with you. It doesn't go anywhere. And so I'm going to start trying to define to you distance. And I wasn't prepared to have this conversation, but it feels so monumentally important because it's all connected. Timelessness, an infinite universe, the spirit realm, the physical realm, dark souls, evil spirits, angelic beings of light, souls that vibrate with love, alien beings that have natures, instinctive natures that are more destructive, and alien beings that are like angelic beings. Everything is connected. Everything is a manifestation. So what we have in the physical world is a manifestation from the spirit world. It's the spirit energy manifesting itself physically. So the amazing part about that is, when you want to talk about a snake chasing its tail, and this is a symbol of infinity, that means that spiritually, the snake is actually a physical representation of that profound spiritual expression, of that profound spiritual expression of an infinite universe. The snake is that expression of both dark and light. If you cannot fear the snake, you choose light. When you choose not to fear, you choose light. When you choose to fear the snake, you choose dark. And that's important to identify that, because the snake is not evil. It is only evil if you choose to see evil. And then that is you being an experience, an expression, feeling a part of a darker vibrational realm. The realm that is where we experience a sensation of time, and where we experience a planet Earth where people are violent, people hate each other, people don't know how to love here. And so let's go back to distance again. So you have all of these connections. You already have oneness. So you don't have to go anywhere to be in the oneness. So the amazing thing about distance is it is such an illusion. It is like time. You feel like distance exists because you can get up and go to your bedroom and go to bed at night. You can go out to dinner and you have to drive there to the restaurant. You can go on a vacation. You have to take an airplane to fly where you want to go. The thing is that that is a sensation of distance, just like the sensation of time. It feels like it exists. But in fact, you are already everywhere. You are already all things. You are already everything. Everything is already you. You are a physical manifestation of spirit, and spirit is infinite, and you are infinite as well. And so, for instance, I'm going to give you an example, and this, I don't even know if this will be good enough, because the human mind just refuses to understand these things. And so that's why you have to choose not to use your human mind. You have to choose to be an infinite spirit to comprehend the meaning of these things. So this is an example of distance that doesn't exist. So sitting here talking to you, I can go into a different, okay, let me think here. One example is I can connect with an infinite soul, which is myself, an infinite vibration, which is myself, which is my soul, which is also your soul, which is all souls, which is the spirit realm, which is the physical realm, which is the entire physical and spiritual universe. That is just me sitting here connecting with my soul, already experiencing the entire physical and spiritual universe. So, by connecting with my soul and experiencing all of that, I can choose what I want to experience. So, in that experience, I can literally, and I've not mastered this ability, mind you, so as a simplistic way of doing it, I can go into what is my third eye, which is real. Third eye is a real place. It can't see it. I can't see it with my eyeballs. You can't see it on everybody, but it is really there. It's like air. You don't see the oxygen that we breathe. You can't feel the oxygen that we breathe, yet we seem to know that oxygen exists. So the third eye, we can't see it, we can't feel it, but it is there. It is like oxygen. And so when we connect with it, the third eye is literally a projection of it projects to us all of the physical and spiritual universe. And our heart is literally the feeling of all the spiritual and physical universe. So in our heart, we connect with all. We look for the exact record, the exact notation, the exact sounds of what we were trying to find. So in the sounds of all, I am looking for an alien species that feels like this, and the feeling could be pure love. Let's just say I'm looking for alien beings that feel like pure love to me, and I close my eyes and I feel this connection in my heart, and in a very relaxed state, which is when I can be outside of my human senses and within my infinite spirit, infinite spiritual experience, then I can allow the information then to project itself in my third eye mind. So I am now traveling the entire universe without going anywhere, just by choosing to explore it through my soul, through my spirit, which is also a connection with the entire physical and spiritual universe. There's no distance. I'm not going anywhere. I am not physically moving anywhere, but I am also going somewhere. So it is weird in that way. It feels like distance should exist when distance truly is not. It is an illusion. And literally, the fascinating thing about space is that what it feels like humongous universe is also the equivalent of a tiny little pinprick. It is all relative. It is all entirely it is as big or as small as you want it to be. It is as far away or as close as you want it to be. It is as evil and dark or as beautiful and light as you want it to be. It is what you choose to experience, what you choose to project from the infinite universe, from your heart. It is truly what you choose to project from the infinite universe through your heart and through your. That is a extraordinary experience of life. We don't choose to experience life in that way. As human beings, we choose to not experience life through the infinite universe that's in our heart, not choose to experience life through the infinite, third eye realm. Choose to live life, and choose to experience life with our hands and, tasting things and seeing things and just feeling like you're just living a life on a planet, very unaware of the extraordinariness of it all, only aware of what you see and experience every day, not aware of an infinite universe, not choosing to experience an infinite universe. Only when you choose to experience that will you actually start to feel the reality that there is no time, and the reality that there is no distance, that you are all things already, that you are an infinite being, that you are beyond being human. So in the previous video where I used my diagrams, I attempted to describe what happens when you die, and I feel like I had failed in really sharing something beautiful there, and I think I had to stop because I could sense that I was starting to go into subjects like what is distance and what is timelessness and how far do you go. So I'm just going to briefly try to share what it is to die, and that so I'm somebody who believes in reincarnation. I'm aware that I've lived in other bodies on this planet and off of this planet. I am aware that my spirit is actually a spirit guide to another physical form, and that my spirit is doing many, many things beyond just experiencing a human life as myself, Abby. And my spirit is also exploring life as other physical forms in the universe while simultaneously being myself, Abby. And so having this awareness, believing in reincarnation, people, that is profound compared to where other human beings are right now. Other human beings aren't aware that we actually do. Okay, this is going to be a very intense conversation. And I have to go to work soon, so I'm also like, see, the time aspect of being human is very, very annoying. In an infinite universe, I have a choice, but I also am human, and I also experience life like all other humans, and so while I have an awareness, I also have an experience too. And it is like everybody else, and my awareness helps me go beyond what is every day here. So I'm going to briefly describe my understanding, my comprehension of what happens, what is death, and I'm going to start by telling you that death itself is actually as beautiful as being born. And that is very hard to believe, because when you see death, when you see somebody dying, it is disagreeable to see that. It looks painful, it looks terrible, and what you don't see, that's what you see as a human being. What you don't see from the spiritual side is the birth from the physical experience, but being reborn as a spiritual expression in the spirit realm. So the death experience is literally a birth experience into the spirit realm. You already are in the spirit realm, but once you have completed a lifetime, you are actually being reborn in the spirit realm. And that is so beautiful. That is so extraordinary. That is so amazing. That is so wonderful. That is a beautiful thing. And people don't see death that way. People fear what happens after you die. So after you have left your physical body, now we are talking about what is distance. Where do you go as a spirit? And so after you, this is my attempt to describe what happens after you die. You literally are reborn as an extraordinary, it would be, okay, in my mind, I perceive what is the moment of the end of a life, and the moment of being reborn in the spirit realm is literally like an explosion of light. It is so profound, so super, so amazing, and it's a complete sensation, an embracing of so much joy, so much amazing light, so much creation, so much of everything. So what we understand as God, for instance, is literally all dark, all light, all physical, all spiritual. Everything is God. And you are God. Everybody is God. Everybody is in the infinite universe, and God is the infinite universe. So when you pass over and you are reborn as a spiritual vibration and as a more extraordinary spiritual vibration, that is huge. That is super. That is a connection with so much that is a connection with the whole. It is an immediate and extraordinary connection with the whole. And then it is literally a re-emergence to physical again, because you are both physical and spiritual. You can't not be both physical and spiritual. That is terrifying to human beings. That is terrifying that you would continue to come back and live lifetimes. That is terrifying because we experience time. When you don't experience time and you experience timelessness, now all of a sudden, in an infinite universe, what does it matter? What does it matter if you live a billion physical lifetimes? What is a billion in an infinite universe? It is nothing. A billion might as well be zero. A billion might as well be a billion times a billion, and a billion and a billion times a billion. Like, it never ends. Like, there is no beginning and no end in an infinite universe. And now, you're going to start wanting to talk about, well, how is it then, if I am existing right now, then, how I must also be existing in a future lifetime and also existing in a past lifetime, because if there is no time, there is no beginning and end. So I am existing all at all times as all of myself, as all of my incarnations from past into future. And there is no such thing as destiny, because it has already been determined. It's already been predetermined. That actually is. This is a very difficult conversation, because yes, I'm going to say yes. That is true. You are, and I have communicated with myself in previous incarnations and myself in future incarnations. I have communicated with my incarnations in the past and in the future. So I know that I have future incarnations and past incarnations, and I should be dead, right, to have a future self. And my past self should be dead to have a current self, right? That is the challenge. That is part of the challenge that we are experiencing, because in an infinite universe, all things are happening simultaneously. And so, yes, all past, all present, and all future are all happening simultaneously. So the future has already happened, and the past has already happened. And it's quite confusing in that way, because how is it that my soul is being reborn if I'm already being reborn as physical selves? That is the challenge in comprehending this, which I am aware of. And so, as of right now, I'm just going to identify with what I currently know, what I currently experience, what I'm currently aware of. And what I'm currently aware of is that when you die, you don't actually go anywhere. You actually just always were in the same place and always were at the same time, because there's no time. And in that moment, you are reborn as an extraordinary vibrational expression, only to become reborn as a physical manifestation again. And that is it. And it is beautiful. And while you are physical, you are also spiritual. So my spirit is also doing all these spiritual things, while it's also being a part of the physical realm. And that it complicates everything. But to comprehend an infinite universe, you have to explore these topics. You have to explore what is past, present, future. What is timelessness? What is distance? Distance is not real. Distance, you never go anywhere. You actually are always just at oneness. You always are at the same point at the same time. Always. Whether I'm, previous incarnation or future incarnation, I always am at the same place at the same time. It's very strange like that. So I know if you can't define it, if you can't give an explanation to everything, the human mind will now say that this is a corrupt video, that I don't know anything, and that it feels more comfortable saying what I do know is what exists. And now I'm going to tell you that what do you know? What actually do you know? What do you know about what exists? Because human beings right now know that we live in a crappy world where everybody is frustrated, everybody is miserable, and everybody is unhappy, and that is a fear-based world. So what you know is actually not good for you. What you know and what you accept is actually not good for you. So to go beyond what you know and accept is to choose to be different, to choose light, to choose an infinite expression of light. And to go there is scary. To go there is difficult. And so, what do you know about being an infinite expression of light? Do you know what unconditional love feels like? Do you know what an angelic being feels like? Don't you want to know what an angelic being feels like? Don't you want to know what unconditional love feels like? And these really are the explorations people need to have. People need to stop just throwing their hands in the air and just saying, well, you can't prove anything. Well, let's just start by just choosing to be an expression of love today. Like, to simplify all of this down to who cares whether we understand what time is or not? Who cares whether we understand what happens when you die or not? Why don't we start by just choosing to be expressions of love? Now that right there is the most profound thing any human being could explore and any human being could actually become. And that is one of the hardest things for us to do. And so I'm just going to end on that note. And so the whole point of this video was truly to try and give you some sort of ledge to comprehend what I have been exploring through my experiences. What is timelessness? What is a experience of distance? So time and distance are illusions. And to help you comprehend what actually happens when you die. And I do understand that it is terrifying to think that you just keep incarnating forever, because in a world of time and a world of nightmares like we experience here, now all of a sudden reincarnation sounds terrible, and we'd much rather believe that you just die and go to heaven for all eternity. Well, you're already in heaven. You're already in the oneness of the spiritual realm, and you're already in the oneness of the physical realm. And so just decide what part of the infinite universe you want to connect with. Do you want to connect with the dark side and be completely immersed in being human and the animal instinct and the fear-driven reality? Or do you want to connect with the light side, which is where all the angels are, reaching their hand out to you, wanting you to connect with them? It's where all the light is, it's where beautiful creation and manifestations take place. It is literally an expression of an orgasmic experience. The light is an orgasmic experience from morning till night and every single day. And the amazing thing about that is that us as a physical manifestation in a third-dimensional reality experience what it would be the equivalent of rape on a regular basis. And there are physical beings that experience what is like an orgasm on a regular basis. Those physical manifestations are connected with the light of all, and our physical manifestation is connected with the darkness of all. And there is a choice. We could be a part of one or the other, and it really does require all of us to connect with each other and to make a choice together. I can choose light every day, but I'm still a part of the vibration that everybody else is experiencing. And then I can't break that cycle until we all choose to break that cycle. So here I am making a video to help humanity break the cycle and become beings that experience what is like an orgasm morning and night, and happiness that never ends. And your soul can experience that too in a future lifetime, and it then is already experiencing it, which is wonderful. So I'm just going to stop there, and I'm just going to share one more part of my diagram, because I'm just going to reshare these, in fact. So I just made a video about the infinite universe, and that's what it's called, the infinite universe, and spirit realm and human realm explained. And so then I chose to make another video really quick before I absolutely have to leave and go to work. But in the video I had made this diagram, and so now again you can see the infinite universe, the dark and the light. And you can see we are here, or this is where we want to be, and then this is where we are, and here. And then this is our connection. This is spirit and physical. This is a representation of spirit and physical in a timeless, infinite universe. This is what actually exists. This is real. And when the two circles combine into one circle, they become then, you see here, this. Then you get this. So you get one circle. This is oneness. This is everything. This is all. This is the infinite realm. And here you could have, I like to just see all as a pure white ball of light, because truly that is what all is to me. It is an infinite realm of beauty and creation. I do not choose to see the infinite realm in darkness, although I can choose to see that, but truly it is, the yin and yang, the 6 and the 9. So you have a darkness and a lightness in the yin and yang, and you have them in the infinite circle here. So that is all, but then even more so, we have all, which exists right here, is all inside your heart. I don't think it gets any better than this. I don't think it can be explained any more clearly than this. The infinite universe exists right here inside of you. The infinite universe. I mean, I'm talking about an infinite universe, an infinite physical and spiritual universe. That is amazing. That is incredible. That is wonderful. That is fantastic. And the infinite universe, where there is no, do not have to travel to go anywhere. You actually it just is already a part of you. The infinite universe is already a part of you, and it's all inside your heart. And in the infinite universe, there is no beginning and no end. There's zero and there is a billion. There's no number to quantify an infinite universe, because there is no beginning and there's no end. There's no size to define an infinite universe, because the size might as well be as big as a pinprick or as ginormous as the whole universe. So what feels like a ginormous universe, it is just the human mind trying to comprehend what is infinite, and the human mind will never comprehend infinite. Only the spirit will ever comprehend what that means. And so in this video I'm trying to share what is infinite, and using a language, using diagrams, and just using what my experiences are, and trying to define those for you so you can understand. So that is all I can share today, and I'll be making plenty more videos. And feel free to subscribe to my channel so you can keep on top of all of the latest truth on spiritual wisdom. And I do have videos on alien experiences as well. I have a website too, and it's abbynormalswisdomquest.com, and I have been doing quite a lot of writing on there, but I'm choosing to go the video blog route because it goes faster and it's a lot more challenging, so I want to embrace the challenge. And so I'm going to probably not be writing as much, but just continue to make videos for right now. And so please leave comments too, because I want to hear what you have to say, and whether that is good or bad, it is actually appealing to me. So if you can't stand my videos, I would love to hear about it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm signing out now.